Hi everyone, it's Amber from The Sensible Mama. Today is 5 Ways Wednesday, and today I'm going to show you 5 ways to pack the Jujube Be Ready. Now obviously this bag was made to be a makeup bag, and I think that all of us have been just using it that way because that's what it says it's for. But I actually think that there are many ways that you can pack this bag that are useful, functional, and pretty. So let's just jump right in, and the first thing I'll do is show you how I like to use this as my makeup bag. Now I'll go ahead and say that if you are the kind of person who has lots and lots and lots of makeup, this is not going to be your daily makeup bag. But I'm the kind of person who has basically like the same makeup that I use every single day. So for me, this actually works really, really well. The thing about the Be Ready is that it is just an open, empty space on the inside, and I have a hard time organizing that. So what I decided to do was put a medium and a small set piece in here to help me sort of organize the stuff that goes inside the Be Ready. So probably no surprise to you that I have my brushes up here in the top. I really, really love these elastic bands because they are just stretchy enough that they can hold any size brush. So what I basically tried to do here is put everything together that goes together, so that whichever part of my face I'm working on, I have all the things for that part of my face together. So here in the very front is where I keep my skin stuff, and some of it is just sitting here loosely in the front, and the rest is in this little mesh pouch right in the front here. So the first two things I have are my concealer and my liquid foundation. I have some Neutrogena dry foundation that I like to put on top of my liquid foundation because I don't like being shiny. And then I have two different blushes that I like to use depending on what kind of intensity I'm going for that day. After I've done my foundation and my blush, the next thing I always do is my eyeshadow. And I have put a medium set piece in here in the Bubble Trouble print that has all of my different eyeshadows in it. Eyeshadow is the one thing that I do kind of play with and do differently each day, and I like having all of that together in one pouch. After I've done my eyeshadow, of course I'm ready to do my eyeliner and mascara, and I have all of that stuff in a side little mesh pocket over here. And in there I just have two different eyeliners, black and blue. And then of course I just have my mascara primer and my mascara. The last thing that I have in here is my small set piece in the Bubble Trouble print. And this just has some of my go-to lipsticks in there, as well as my lipstick primer. And I keep the short strap on here just because what tends to happen to me is it's time to go out the door, we gotta be somewhere, and I haven't figured out what color lipstick I want to wear yet. So if I'm in that situation, I can just grab this out of my Be Ready and take it in the car with me and decide in the natural lighting of the car what kind of lipstick I want to wear. The next way I'm going to show you to use the Be Ready is as a restaurant needs bag to keep in your car. So if you're the kind of person who likes to pack light and you don't like keeping restaurant stuff in your diaper bag just on the off chance that you stop in a restaurant, this might be a really, really great bag to just pack up, throw in your car bag, and leave in the car for in case you go into a restaurant with your family. In the top section, I have put a little baby fork and spoon, and then I just threw a Tide to Go pin in there as well. You never know when someone is going to drop something and spill, and it's always kind of nice to just be able to kind of get it out of the clothes right then and there. I have the main part of the Be Ready packed pretty full, and I'm actually really excited about how this all packed up. The first thing that I have in here is just some face and hand wipes. Beside that, I have two little packs of Rory's Story Cubes. I first saw these on Gator Mom's channel and I just thought they were the coolest thing. And she's so right. These are a wonderful thing to have if you're with your family and you get stuck at a restaurant and the food is taking a long time. These are basically just little cubes that have different icons on them. And there are instructions over here on the inside flap that tell you what to do. But basically you roll the cubes and whatever icons come up on top, you string together and you put together a story. So I have just the standard Rory story cubes, and then I have the action pack as well. This one just has different actions in it that can kind of make the story more fun. But I've actually brought these along with me on trips with my older stepkids. I'm talking teenagers, and they have enjoyed using this as well. So I think this is a great thing to have in your little restaurant bag just to keep everybody entertained and occupied while you wait on the food. I'm going to be linking everything that I'm showing in here in the description box below, so if you're interested in these, I do have the link for them. Next, I have a pack of gum because who doesn't enjoy freshening up after having a meal? I have a little formula container. This came in a 2-pack. It's made by Munchkin, I believe. I have, of course, some hand sanitizer. Now, in the little mesh pockets, I had one of them empty over here just because I had some things that were bumping up against that mesh and it wasn't going to fit very well if I put anything in there. But I do have the other mesh pockets being used, and in this first one back here, I just have a collapsible toothbrush and some baby toothpaste. In the next mesh pocket, I have dental floss, not because kids tend to need this, but if you want to become instantly popular, be the person at the table who has dental floss when somebody needs it. And lastly, in this side mesh pocket, I have a Be Neat, just fold it over a couple of times and it fits perfectly in there. In the bottom of the Be Ready, I have a little play pack, and there's actually room in there for you to throw a couple in the Be Ready. So if you have a couple of kids, you can definitely fit 2 or 3 in here, packed just the way I've shown you. And then down in the very bottom, I have my son's little sticky plate that sticks to the surfaces so he can't pick it up and throw his food everywhere. This Be Ready is packed as a medical kit. And I know I keep showing the same Be Ready, that's because I only have one. But one of the things that I love about doing 5 Ways Wednesday is that it forces me to try to figure out new ways to use things. And now that I've packed this as a medical kit, I really think I'm gonna need to go and buy like at least 2 more Be Readies so that I can do this, because I think this is a perfect bag for putting all of your medical care stuff in. So let me show you what I have in here. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Up on top, I just have a couple things that we tend to use a lot in this household. I have 2 thermometers, one for the baby and one for us grown-ups, and I'm sure you moms know why. I have some vitamin D drops in here just because we've been told, you know, to make sure that our son is getting some of those, so we just like to kind of put a drop in his juice or in his water or something like that sometimes. Some baby Orajel, because he's 1, we're still teething a little bit. And then down in the main compartment, I have everything that we tend to grab for with a 1-year-old. Now, the contents of this bag might be a little different based on what aged children you have, but this works really great for us. For a kid who's either an infant or entering into toddlerhood. So what I have sitting on top is a coin purse, and in here I just have some band-aids and Q-tips for applying any kind of cream that I might need to put on if there is a cut or a wound or something. I have my son's nasal aspirator. We tried the Nose Frida and it was really great. Like, it worked well, but it drove my son crazy. He absolutely hated it. So this is actually just something that we got at Walgreens for a couple bucks, and it worked just as well, and it didn't bother my son's nose. I have some cough drops just for me and my husband. Down in the bottom, I have boogie wipes, because if your kid is sick, you're probably gonna need some of these, so it's just good to have these around. I have some disinfectant wipes just to wipe down any wounds or anything to clean them off before I put antifungal and band-aids and everything on. And down here, I have what's called a Medi Buddy. This is actually a really cool little thing that you can get on Amazon. I don't have all the original contents in here, but when you order this, you essentially get a mini first aid starter kit. Once we either used or discarded everything that came in here, I still kept the Medi Buddy because it makes a perfect place to store all of the syringes and droppers that come with infant medicine. Now in the mesh pockets, I just have some Zarbee's multivitamin mix that you throw in water. This is more for me and my husband than for my son. I have 2 different types of pain relievers for my son. One of them is long lasting and the other one is fast acting, so we kind of keep both laying around depending on what we need at that moment. I have some iodine here for really bad scrapes. Thankfully, we haven't had to use that yet. And the last thing that I have is gripe water. I've shown this in many of my videos. New moms, get used to having this stuff. It's the best So I always like to have this because even at 1, my son can get tummy aches, and this always does the trick. This one is packed up as a little bag for your little one to carry around to put all of his or her little treasures inside of. So if you have a little one who wants to be just like mommy and carry around a little bag, the Be Ready is actually a really great one to give to your kid. Now, I haven't put anything in the elastic straps up here just because I figure even if a kid, at least like near the age of my son, has the hand-eye coordination to pull something out of those straps, they're probably not going to have the coordination to put it back in. So I'm not bothering putting anything in there, but if you have an older kid, you might like to put markers or crayons or things like that in there. And I don't have any particularly brilliant ideas stowed away in here, but I just want to show you of one way that you could pack this up. I have all of my son's favorite little things in here. He has a little snack container with his puffs in it, a sensory ball that he loves, his little remote that sings and plays music and he feels like a big boy. In the mesh pockets, I put just little toys that tend to get lost down in the bottom. A little car, a book that we got at Chick-fil-A, which surprisingly, it's just such a tiny little book, but he loves it. I have a play pack in there, and then down in the bottom I have this little toy tablet. Now, for the last way, I had planned on showing you how to pack this as a clutch for yourself. But my good friend Janice over at Confessions of a Pink Lady already did that video, and she did it 1,000 times better than I could have done it. So I'm gonna leave that to her, and I'm gonna link her video down below in case you wanna see how to pack the Be Ready as a mama clutch. You really need to check out that video. So it's linked down below. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you how to pack this up as another type of car bag, but this is more for keeping in your car in case you get stalled out on the side of the road, or you're stuck in bad traffic, or if you have a flat tire that you have to change. I figured I'd show you how to pack this up as an in case of emergencies bag for inside of your car. Now, this is not the kind of emergency bag that you might think of for like helping people with injuries and things like that. This is just simply put together as something for you to have in the car, like I said, if you're stuck on the side of the road and can't really get where you need to go. In the top elastic bands, I have a fully charged power bank and a cable for charging up my phone. You know, if your car totally dies, you don't really have long to charge up your phone. So it's good to have a spare power bank just in case you're stuck there and you need to get in touch with people. Speaking of getting in touch with people, I've printed out kind of all of the emergency numbers for the Metro Atlanta area, which is where I live. So I figured this would just be a good thing to have if I'm on the side of the road and I really need help. I have all the numbers that I need, and I don't have to worry about potentially spotty internet service on my phone to try to look these numbers up. And the rest of what's in the bag, it's really not much. But I have things that are related to having to get out of the car to either flag somebody down or change your own tire or inspect, you know, like a crack in your windshield or something and it's pouring down rain. Nobody likes to have to get out of their car, get soaking wet, and then get back inside their car soaking wet. So what I have in here is basically 2 ponchos, one for you and one for anyone who decides to stop and help you if you need it, and an umbrella as well. And then I feel like you guys probably laugh at me when I show you this, but I have a ShamWow in here. These things are really amazing in terms of just drying you off. So if your baby gets wet and you really want to get that baby dried off, or if you got wet and it's cold outside and you know that having soaking wet hair and being cold is not a good combination, you can just whip this out and use it to dry your hair, dry your skin, and hopefully stay a little bit warm. Alright everyone, I hope you liked this video. I sincerely hope that it gave you some great ideas for how to use your Be Ready that might be sitting around useless at the moment. If you have any great tips for how you use the Be Ready, I would love for you to comment down below. I'm always interested in hearing about what other ladies are doing with these great bags. If you enjoy this content, I would love it if you would hit this button right here and subscribe. That's how you stay up to date on all my latest content. And other than that, guys, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.